Hi guys. So I just wanted to briefly come on here and tell you guys some good news. I passed the PMP exam and I'm so excited. It was so hard, probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. But I'm grateful and I'm happy that it's over now. And I passed on my first attempt. So I just wanted to kind of share with you guys some tips that helped me pass the PMP exam. So, tip number one is I had to get off of social media. I had to get off of social media just to eliminate that distraction. I had to pretty much cut my friends off. I didn't really talk to my friends for a while. I was kind of just in my own bubble, in my own space for probably a solid 2 months. Now, I've been studying for about 6 months, just getting myself familiar with the material, but I really started going hard on it probably 2 months before I took the exam. And then 2 weeks out from the exam, I was like, zero communication. Don't call me, don't text me, don't ask me to go out. I turned my phone off for a while. I just had to cut myself off from everything and just really, really study. Now, I read two books. I read How to Pass the PMP on Your First Try by Andy Crow, and I also read Head First PMP. Now, while those are good books, as I was taking my practice exams, I was not passing. I was failing, literally, like 60%, 50%. Like, I couldn't get over an 80%, and I think that that's the suggestion. That's what people suggest that you make on your practice exams before you go take the real exam. So I was getting so nervous. I'm a week out from my exam, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm failing. How am I gonna pass this exam if I can't even pass the practice exams? My cat is doing the most right now. I can't even pass the practice exam. So I was getting really nervous. And then 3 days, guys, 3 days before the exam, I decided to read the PMBOK. And I didn't read the PMBOK before because people would always say, oh, you don't need to read the PMBOK, or you can read the PMBOK, but you're gonna need other material. You're gonna have to have other means of study material. So I was like, okay, all right, so let me give this one shot. So I decided to read the PMBOK 3 days before my exam, and I didn't even take a full practice exam after that. I took like a few quizzes, like a 20-question quiz, a 10-question quiz, 100%, 80%, 90% after reading the PMBOK. And I read the PMBOK out loud to myself, just trying to make sure that this information is really sticking in my brain. So, sorry. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna say a prayer and I'm gonna go take this exam. Y'all. So I got a pass and I was so excited. The test was so hard, y'all. Let me tell you. Like, you got 200 questions and you only have 4 hours. That translates to like 100, no. It translates to like a minute and 20 seconds per question. That was so hard because the questions are not easy. Like, you have to read it at least twice. I found myself reading like 3 and 4 times just to make sure I understood. So it was hard, and it was literally down to the minute, to be honest. Like, my last 10 questions, I had about 10 minutes left. And on my last question, I probably had a little over a minute left. So I was like, I had no time to even go back and review, because they give you the option to mark your answers so you can come back and review them. I didn't even have time to do that. So I submitted, I said a prayer, y'all. I was shaking. I was so like, it was so intense. It was so intense. I hit submit and I got a pass, and I was so excited. So my tips would just be to read the PMBOK, honestly. Read the PMBOK. It's there for a reason, and It's given by PMI. I mean, that's the institution who is offering the PMP, so why not read the PMBOK? You really don't need any other book, to be honest. You know, people say you don't have to read it, or if you read it, you're gonna need to study other material. No, you don't. You really don't. Everything you need is in the PMBOK, is in there. Like, that's all you need. If I would have read the PMBOK, I don't know, maybe twice or 3 times, and read it cover to cover, read the glossary, read everything. Like, just read everything. And I got an above target in executing, and executing is the largest part of the exam. I think it's more than 61% of the exam is focused on executing, and I got above target in executing. And I will say that I focused a lot of my studying on executing, so that helped me a lot. So those are my tips. I mean, if you want to know anything else, leave me a comment, ask me a question. I would be so happy to help other people pass this exam, because I just know it was so stressful for me, and I feel really accomplished now that I have my PMP. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.